So we are here in Kenilworth in Abbey Fields Park, obviously where there used to be an abbey, and we're right by the little brook or stream, call it what you will. This is where we have the duck race, I have said before, but before we go into that, thank you for watching, liking, sharing, viewing, and a special thank you to those who have subscribed or who are going to subscribe. We're going up a hill now. Ouch, I got caught up in the tree. Bluebells either side of the path, they're not coming up. It won't be flowering for a while yet. No, we're looking right down on it. Oh my word, got to get up here somehow. Now I could, if I'm not careful, go sliding down there and go into the drink, so I shall be very careful going up that bit. Yeah, does look a bit, yes, a bit dodgy down there. That's my lady. I'm the king of the castle. Oh, yes, I think I missed the end of the other one. Last night I watched a programme. Yeah, they filled the tree in with concrete. Right, so a composite tree. Yes, last night I watched a programme on YouTube. Jim Al-Khalili talking all about gravity. I think I've seen it before, but he did take a while, about an hour, to talk all about gravity. And the conclusion was he didn't know what gravity was. Well, he sort of concluded that time dilation causes gravity. And of course, he didn't really know. That was just one theory, as always. And of course, we do know that time dilation is accurate because we can use atomic clocks, put them in a plane, send them off travelling and leave the other one on the ground. When it comes back, they are different, but by such a tiny amount as doesn't really matter. But it is just proof that Einstein's theory was in fact correct, that time does change. It's not constant in every place, it does change, and it certainly changes because of motion. The other thing I learned, of course, is that as you go up a mountain, you do not weigh as much. And they actually did the experiments. Of course, you can't just stand on scales to do this. So they had accurate measurements of a kilogram weight. And of course, it weighed less at the top of a mountain. Of course, because the earth bulges, because of the spin, if you go down to the equator, you weigh less again because you're further from the centre of the mass. And however, if you go up a mountain or down to the equator, they cancel each other out, so it makes no difference. It's the same as at sea level. So that because as you move down towards the equator, yes, in theory you get lighter, and if you go up in a mountain you get lighter, but they do cancel out. So Professor Jim Al-Khalili said, so I've got no reason to disbelieve him, except he did say he didn't really know what gravity was. Anyway, I'm sorry to have bored you with that. I love physics. I watch an astrophysicist called Dr. Becky. She's on YouTube. She does a new video every Thursday. Dr. Becky. And so I listen to her videos, and she's very good. And nice doggies, look. There is Kenilworth Castle. There, what about that? Do you like that? Again, that's a Fred Dibner, isn't it? Do you like that? No, yes. That's the old boy who sadly died recently from the Vicar of Dibley. Oh, it's Dibley, isn't it? Yeah. So that will be dry across here, love. And we're going to get across the road quick before another one comes. Quickly, is one coming. We used to be able to walk along there some time ago, but sort of grown over now. You've been this way lots of times, haven't you? I came across on, you know, when on Facebook it comes up from 2 years ago. It came up this morning. One of our friends, Irene, came up on there from when we were down at the Kenilworth Hotel in Goa. So there's a link if ever you want one. The link to Kenilworth here, and 2 years ago at this time we were in Goa at the Kenilworth Hotel. And it was the most marvellous, again, I'm not getting paid to say this, but it was the most marvellous hotel. And we certainly would go back and certainly highly recommend it. Our favourite dish there, sorry to the vegetarians, favourite dish was the lobster. Boy, was that a dish. And in fact, the lobster dish I wanted, that wasn't on the menu. So what did they do? I described what I wanted and they did it. I can't even remember what it was now, but yeah, that's how obliging they are. But sadly, a lot of our friends now, all over the world, where we've met in hotels, are no longer working. And even the ones that are, we've got a manager friend from our hotel, I won't say exactly where, but she's working so hard because they've got lots of weddings. But they've cut down the staff and she's doing unbelievable hours every day. And she's busy looking for a job, which I can't blame her. So they cut the staff and the others all have to do the work of the others. Now, I know there's problems, but, you know, people aren't slaves, they are employees. But I don't think big business worries too much about that. After all, it was... we used to be called personnel, didn't we, years ago? Now we're human resources. They just, a bit like tagging cattle, I suppose. They put a tag in your ear and you become a human resource. That's not to say there aren't good firms about, but a lot of them just use you like a resource. I remember when I was teaching and as a middle manager, I would get constant jobs that needed to be done. Oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. And eventually I would say, okay, can you tell me which order you want these to? Oh, well, you're the middle. Ah, yes, but they can't all be done. And I think you know that. And I know that. So you tell me what order you want them done. Then I'll do them. And some won't get done because when you keep pushing stuff on a table, there comes a time when something falls off the other end. Anybody with a brain would know that. I used to love coming back after the summer holidays. Teachers of you amongst you will recognise this. You'd been working hard all year to get better results, and eventually, of course, it turns out that you got better results. But what happens? Well, you get back and they start on a day and they say, well, we've done well. We've moved ahead X amount. Unfortunately, these dumb managers in schools hadn't worked out that we weren't going to be the only school that was working hard to improve. Everybody else did as well. So the consequence was we were in exactly the same place where we were before because everybody improved. I think that's funny. And then, of course, they say, we're not asking you to work harder. What we're asking you is to work smarter. And then I would say to them, can you give me an example of working smarter when we don't need to work harder? And of course, they can't. It's just a mantra that these idiots have learned at some management school.